welcome to Cannon Crüe, a weekly podcast discussing the Charleston Battery. Your host Granit will be joined by other defenders of the fleet from the black and yellow supporters section, and together they will help fortify and conquer. They are the Cannon Crüe.
Welcome to the Cannon Crüe podcast. I am Granit. I am joined, of course, by Ryan. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing fantastic, Granit. How are you this fine evening?
I'm doing well. Earlier this evening, I was wrestling computer problems, technical problems, and then you were wrestling technical problems. Fun day at work for you. If anything, you still have a job. Other people might not.
Yep, I hope I still do.
Sad.
We'll keep it going.
You hope? Well, you've always got the full-time position here, too. It doesn't pay much, but you know how that goes.
Yes.
So what else? Any news on the your team?
Actually, I am doing a beach run tomorrow at Folly Beach, 9 a.m. with the team. Be a lot of fun. It'd be last year we did it 3 times. I think this year I have it definitely scheduled twice. And then it leading up to Tampa, because we have Tampa Labor Day weekend, which is going to be an amazing tournament and opportunity for these boys.
So where are you going to be at Folly? Where are you guys meeting up?
4th Street.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sometimes my wife and I get up early and go out there and just kind of do some walking, a little bit of jogging.
Yeah. So the boys will be running between, I want to say, about 3rd and 12th Street. So they'll run a mile and then turn around, run right back. But they'll do like the rope run. So it's like 4 of them holding a rope, running together.
Cool. Good. That's always a good thing. It builds up a lot of just endurance, changes things up. Also builds up the lower parts of the legs and ankles. You don't have to work your feet more than it's all bound up inside of a soccer boot. So I think it's a good way to get a good workout and hopefully have some fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's
so
one.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say just that's one thing I've noticed or recognized as a coach or as a new incoming coach is that growing up in Central Virginia, having more mountainous areas and playing more in the mountains, and then having the beach also as well, realizing that there's different climates, different types of attributes that you use to take care of yourself, especially your feet. And then realizing that when I moved down here, not a lot of teams utilize what types of opportunities and bonuses that they have here compared to other teams. So try to definitely take advantage of that while I can.
Yeah, we got one big hill here. It's called the Cooper River Bridge, and then you got the beaches. And sand does wonderful things for trying to run fast and trying to work out with that lower body. And plus, if you get too hot, you get cool off in the ocean. And maybe do some little beach ball out there, Brazilian style.
Oh, you got spike ball set up for afterwards. I got the pole, so then I'll go in goal, but like I'll be in like the shallow end of water, so then like it's actually fun for me to dive.
If I show up my bullhorn, can I yell at you? Only encouragement.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, talking about different altitudes, latitudes, longitudes. So Club World Cup, the heat is killing everyone. Welcome to America. Welcome to America.
A lot of these, and I'm very surprised by Atletico Madrid being one of the main teams that are complaining the most when it comes to the weather and stuff, because they're out playing in LA. But I don't know. You tell me. I haven't been to Madrid, but I would assume like Madrid gets fairly warm.
Yeah, but I don't think like we get here. I mean, but also, if they think it's hot in LA, they need to come back here to South Carolina, North Carolina, South, and see what heat is really about. They'll feel it. But, it's just, you think that's going to be a wake-up call for a World Cup? Teams are going to like, uh-oh, gotta change things, right?
I mean, I always think it's been the back of the mind of a lot of these Central American teams who play against the U.S. And, the U.S. drags teams. You look at our past record, we'll freeze teams out in Chicago or go play them in a snowy blizzard in Colorado or something. We tend to do that. But when it comes to the World Cup and it being in the summertime and how the U.S. is, the U.S. doesn't really have any cold spots in the summertime. I think they're going to get exposed. A lot of teams, especially for the heat. I don't think it's going to be as hot as Qatar, and they're not going to have like all the restrictions and stuff. But I definitely still do see them having like the water breaks and the players gasping and that kind of drama. I still see that being there.
Yeah, they need to keep them hydrated. There's no sense getting anybody
Since
permanently.
they're mainly playing in the NFL stadiums, what if they had like, what the Dolphins have for their team? And it's like the fan with the water misters and everything like that.
Yeah, the swamp coolers used to call them.
Them swamp coolers. I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing it did for me was just make it the humidity from 99% to 99.9%. But yeah, it does feel that does feel a little bit better. But still, when you're going to use them, when you're out there playing, it's not like NFL. You can go, oh, I'm in for one play, then I'm over there with a swamp cooler and ice down on my back.
Yeah.
Maybe we institute sub on the fly. I don't know. That way you can go over and get cool off, come back in. Maybe it's not a starting 11; it's like a starting 15, and you can play their 15 as long as there's only 11. Yeah. That's a good idea. I mean, that's what we do at at our little co-ed league. Is sub on the fly. I go out there for like 2 minutes, and I go like, "Oh Lord, my office life kicking my butt out here in the heat." Then I go over and swamp cool for a little bit. So they should try it.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Or just line up trash cans full of ice and water. Just dunk people in. Just jump in, jump back out. So let's talk about another amazing football team, Charleston Battery. We'll talk about 2 matches. This shouldn't take as long tonight. We've had a long week. Patrick's not with us because Patrick is a papa.
Patty, the papa bear.
So I keep pinging him, hey, you want to record? And he's like, I can't wake up. I'm asleep. I don't know what I am. So I keep telling him, enjoy it. Because you're kind of, how far are you into this?
Thomas, we just celebrated 6 months with Thomas.
Yeah, so you've kind of gone through the first couple of weeks of getting no sleep and life is hell and everything, and it's still probably lack of sleep.
I still recorded. I want you guys to go back and look at the times stamps.
Patrick, if you're listening, I think the gauntlet has been thrown. No, he did tell me. He said he's gonna jump on with us after Saturday, the next.
No, I just messed with him. with him. I'm pretty because Thomas was born in December, so we were in the off season.
Yeah, you'd have to add that in. Let's see.
No, I feel bad.
You should feel bad. See how I'm sticking up for you, Patrick? But anyways, well, the only way you can make up for it, Ryan, is buy me beer tomorrow at the match. Okay, I'll then put it.
There we go. Speaking of which, I gotta meet Julian tomorrow at the match.
With who?
Well, I gotta find somebody. I gotta somehow get a job with the Battery. It's the goal tomorrow. So always thinking. But these two.
Let's talk about Hartford.
Yeah,
let's talk about Hartford.
Hartford.
Yep. We went up there.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe someone predicted the correct score.
You did.
And that was me. I corrected. Yep. I got correct the score and MD scoring. But my third prediction was Ikaza to score, and it was actually Landry who scored, and it was a spectacular goal by Landry.
It was a
I'm still
banger.
waiting on a positive breakthrough, but man, did Landry deliver in that game.
It was the keeper didn't even know what went past him. It's pretty interesting. MD's goal was pretty good. Danced around the box. I love it. After he scored, laying in the boxes, couple green jerseys, like he just broke all their ankles while he was weaving through. That was kind of fun. He's just so powerful. And I always think that, but then you see like that, they're pushing him and he's dribbling, at slow kind of pace, and they're just beating on him, and he's holding them up and knocking them down and just not even budging. I don't think it hit me how strong MD was, or still is, of course, until watching that about like third time. I was like, man, this guy's a beast. He is a beast. You don't see him on the ground.
He has great core and balance. Like his balance and the way he's able to turn his frame and everything on certain plays. It's that's what stands out to me, and that's what I like about him the most and appreciate him the most too. And it's all due to hard work too, at the same time, right? Repetition,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
constantly going through it.
So we I don't say we escaped that one. That was pretty easy rolling. I was kind of worried that they'd come back, but also the other thing that convinced me was you're always harping on. We always let one goal through. I think I looked up a stat earlier, and we're averaging 1.1 goals given up a match.
A game. Yep. So we average 1 goal a game now.
So let's flip to Miami. And again, we give up 1 goal. Man, so you tell me as a keeper, because I was a little disappointed in how we gave it up.
Can you walk me through it again? Paint us the picture.
Yeah. So the picture comes up. Somebody's got the ball a little bit outside the 18-yard box, kind of chips it up over Smudio's halfway through the 6-yard box from the goal, and just lobs over his outstretched hand into the back of the goal. At what point do you go back on your line and not let that happen to you? I think that was the bigger question I had, because it just looked like it was something that shouldn't have happened, and it did.
It's just poor judgment, not committing fully. He jumped. In my head, the way I looked at it, there could have been like 2 or 3 different things. Could have jumped early, and that's how it easily got out of his reach in his extension, because the ball was curling outwards a bit. 2, he was off his line and hesitated. And 3, he didn't fully commit to it, because when you have to go after it, you have to make sure you hit it, unless that goal's going to happen. Making the decision there to stay on your line at the same time is very, very difficult, because again, then taking a direct shot on a 12-foot goal inside your 6-yard box, or 8-foot goal inside your 12-yard box. So it's difficult to say. It's all about judgment, and if you can get there, fantastic. You make the save, you look great, but everyone's going to immediately move on to the next play.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happened to your camera?
I'm just having fun with my camera over here.
Here's on the swerves.
Hello.
But
while you were talking, I was pushing buttons, and I should never push buttons.
But yeah, it's all about judgment call, because if the keeper makes the save, end of the day, everyone's going to be like, great, moves on to the next play. If he makes the mistake, gives up the goal, everyone's going to harp on how poor it was.
Yeah.
To me, that type of play that happened for that goal, that happens every game. That play that cost us the 1-0 loss to Miami, that play alone is why I continue for the Battery to allow a goal a game against us. that I don't know how else, that was clear as day. And that was the best example of why I still choose that. And that's like for Pat and him, because Pat's always asking me why I do it. But I don't like to. I don't want to. I want to choose us to go and get shut out. So I love doing it, and I have done it before. But this Miami game, though, was the one to definitely get the clean sheet. It was frustrating to see how on the attacking end, we couldn't be successful just getting good shots off, clean shots, getting clean opportunities, and not getting so frustrated and wound up front. I felt like we got really tight and wound up front. And for no reason.
MD was
go ahead.
MD was off. I mean, he was off a little bit. He had some chances. And I hate saying we were just unlucky, but I think Malloy had a free kick, went off the bar a little bit.
Man, that was a great kick.
Yeah. So sometimes we just don't have. The good thing is that who lost tonight was
Louisville.
Yep.
Lost tonight in a stunner. They lose 2-1 to North Carolina FC, and an 18-year-old homegrown boy from North Carolina made his debut and scores the game winner tonight. So, congrats to him.
Nice.
Congrats to North Carolina. Way to represent. And this is great for the Battery as we take on Phoenix tomorrow. The Battery go out and win this. We are now equal with Louisville at the top of the table again.
Yeah, but Phoenix is on a roll, right? They are truly Phoenix rising right now. This is also a rematch from last year. So it's we really just need to beat their ass tomorrow.
We've played Phoenix Rising 3 times in our history. We've tied them all 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one
so
time we've lost them in pens.
And it's time to stop doing that bullshit. We just need to win. We need to win big. We need to somehow unlock whatever. Let's go back to the Miami game real quick, because I was interested in sometimes big teams. We play against other big teams and we win, or we draw, or we win. And then we seem to struggle against the smaller teams, the teams lower on the table. And I thought there was more into that. Then I look back at no, we've only lost a couple, and it was against the mid-table teams and above. Miami wasn't like at the bottom like I kind of thought they were. But it seems like we do struggle. It seems like, I don't know if we just switch off, but it didn't seem like it. And it wasn't like Miami was just doing a low block the whole match and countered and struck on us. They didn't go to low block until after they scored their goal. Now, what we did do is, were we not playing a 3-back system?
Yeah.
Yeah, goes against your theory, doesn't it? I just had to get you to admit that. But anyways, it happens, right? I'd rather, if we're going to lose a match, I'd rather lose it away than lose it in front of home fans. So hopefully it builds up boys. They're going to come in Saturday night and just ready to rip apart the Phoenix. See little feathers flying everywhere, stuff like that.
Too, and that's another fact that you got to realize too, with these bigger clubs going against, smaller clubs, as you'd say, the atmosphere, the weather, climate, everything's a factor, especially when you're in these summer months, whether you're playing in Orange County, California, you're going down and playing in Miami, or you're going up and playing it in Louisville, or Rhode Island. Now that we have Rhode Island, it's all going to be a bit different. A lot of change. You're going to feel different when you come off the flight, and that plays. That's an impact right there, like a massive impact for a lot of these players, and how we usually and typically go down to play against Miami doesn't typically fare us on the right side. Now last year was a different result. We did win 2-1. I called that game again with the Nick McKenna goal, and I even called it when I left Edmonds Oast. This is when I I upsetted you a bit, but I said that we were going to score in the 82nd or 4th minute. We scored. That game, we had the special players though to do it. We had the name marks, and this year that we do have them, I feel like everyone's going on lockdown and we're panicking as a team. We're not having just the team be cohesive like we did the last 6 games. I feel like now we're in a bit of a panic up front, and we need to just remember who we are and not lose that identity of we're a team, not individuals. Does that make sense? Because even though Nick wasn't playing last year, we were a team with Nick. Nick wasn't just by himself, and he knew that. He always gave things to the team last year, or at least it felt like that. At least he portrayed it like that to the fans, because the fans love Nick for always doing that.
And I think Cal and MD been playing well together.
I think they have too.
Sometimes it just doesn't happen, I guess. I mean, that's any sport, right?
Right.
So my list of things. Oh, let me back up. Hartford. I happened to be at the beer garden. Saw Bobby. Talked to her a little bit. Saw Grant. Saw Tori. Saw a couple new people that I hadn't seen before. I thought there was only going to be like 5 or 6 people. All of a sudden, this huge table comes in and another huge table comes in. So there's probably about 15, 20 people watching the match. It was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah. I was not planning to be there. I just happened to be there and then realized what time it was. I went, hey. Of course, I got a text from my wife saying, yeah, you're watching the match, aren't you? And I said, maybe. I don't know. I can't leave my people behind, right? So I don't like the split screen TV stuff because you lose half a player, the ball goes between the thing. So you end up watching the smaller screens on the side, but and the beer's way too expensive for my taste. And I have pretty expensive taste, but anyway, so but it was a good time there. In Miami, here's my list of problems, right? Here's the plus thing about Miami. Pitbull Stadium, hell yeah. And we need a big name. I can think of 1 or 2 big time people here that we can name stadium after that it's maybe bigger than Pitbull. I don't know who could be bigger than Pitbull, but
that's pretty big.
It's pretty big. I mean, he is Mr. Worldwide, so so that was pretty cool. I didn't realize that's what the stadium was called, and I was watching it. I was like, "Hey, that's Pitbull." So, what was the other thing? At one point, ESPN had a commercial, like a picture-in-picture thing, and so like quarter of the screen was some commercial, and it was loud as hell, and they kept playing behind it. I thought that was kind of silly.
Well, they kept replaying their kit release video too.
If you're gonna advertise a product like that and it's gonna interrupt my watching of football, then I'm probably not gonna buy it.
But you're probably only watching it because it's an away game.
Yes. I stopped going to a certain team here in Charleston because they, in between the 2 periods, all it was advertisements. When it first started, they used to do polka music and traditional, Canadian type stuff. I'm not saying which team it is, but then they turned it was just all advertisements and a Zamboni. Oh, I'm sorry, a machine that people jumped on and shot things. And I was like, this is boring as hell. I have not been to a match since, or a game, whatever it's called. So don't piss me off. I will cut you off. What's the other things? So he calls it. So the referee, and I don't want to bitch about referees. But I always bitch about referees. He calls it, barely tugs a jersey on the midline, and he gets a yellow card. And that's when it went downhill with that referee. Now, we got played by the masters of the dark arts of time wasting. And I think the referee was kind of complicit with it. But at halftime, setting up for a free kick, dude standing in front of Torres, they blows a halftime whistle and then laughs at Torres because the referee didn't allow the free kick to go on. And then it got worse from there. I don't think they had any ball boys on the side of the field. So players had to like climb up in the stands to get the ball every once in a while. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah. It's
So
this.
I don't think we get by with it. I remember Torres getting yellow cards for time wasting for barely kicking a ball, and these guys are launching it down the field after the whistle is blown and nothing's done to them. So, anyways, to each their own. Phoenix Rising, we talked about them. Kickoff 7:30. Patriots point.
Match predictions. Oh, and special treat after the game on Saturday, fireworks show.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you stay late for the game after the game and catch the fireworks show. Now, back to the game. Score predictions. Granit, what you got?
I've got 2-1. I'm going to cave. I'm going to go with 2-1. And Juan Davies got one of them coming in. And I don't know who's going to get the second one. Hopefully, let me see. MD's going to get the second one.
Yep.
Or the first one. Juan Davies, the second one. But either way.
I'm going to go with a fun, full-packed nail biter. 3-2.
3-2. No.
3-2.
Okay.
3-2. Definitely Cal scoring one. That's all I'm going to say on that because I don't want to be fully wrong, but definitely going 3-2 with Cal scoring.
Odds are one of the two are going to score, right?
Yeah, right.
If not both of them.
Took MD
cool.
last week.
Yeah. I still, that was a great. I just love the image of all the players laying in the penalty area, laying on their backs, on their stomachs. It looked like he just went through their broke legs and scored a goal.
Cool.
So I'll be there a little bit early. Probably be over hanging out with the regiment. Bobby was saying, "Hey, you guys need to come over here more." So I told her, I said, "We will make sure that we make our way over there, hang out with the regiment. If you are new to come to the Battery Stadium, regiment is wide open. A great group of people. They've got some beer in the kiddie pool. They'd be more than happy to maybe share with you. Got some food, stuff like that. So please come over. Don't be afraid, because nobody bites, at least not too hard." And I think that's it. That's all I've got.
That's all I got.
Okay. Patrick, we'll see you.
We are the holy city, we are the
Peace.
Battery. We are
Peace.
the holy city, home of the Battery.
Sorry.
Do you hear our cannons roar? Can you feel the thunder?